Andrew Simpson here, aka Asimpvlogs. Alright, so I want to talk to you guys about, I guess the best way to put it is people's fears of maybe rejection or fears of things not going the way that they want to, so they never even take the chance. One thing I always say is fear, the only way to tackle fear is by executing. So execution is doubt's kryptonite, because that fear tends to stem from doubt, right? In most cases. Of course, when I'm not talking about fear of spiders, I'm not talking about those kind of fears. I'm talking about the things that hold you back from doing what you want to do in life. Now, I meet so many people when they ask me, so every time someone asks me, I'm a server at Red Lobster, right? So anytime someone asks me what my major is, then I tell them my major is criminal justice, but I'm not going to do anything with it. And then the follow-up to that question is always, oh, why are you not going to do anything with it? And then that leads me to tell them about my company, because I tell them, well, I joined this club and it's about entrepreneurship. I love entrepreneurship. I fell in love with it. There's nothing else I can see myself doing. And so now, it used to be now I want to start a company. But even when I told people now I want to start a company, there was still doubt, there was still fear there. Because I realized before I started someone new, the fear that I had was, well, what if it doesn't work out? What if I'm not good enough? What if I think entrepreneurship is meant for me and I have the fantasy of doing it, but then it never actually happens? What if I'm not cracked up for it? What if it's not the right move? Then what am I doing with my life? The funny part about that is when I came up with the idea for someone new, and I don't know if it was in a dream, but I ended up waking up at 7:30 or 6:30 in the morning, and I just pulled out the nearest notebook and I wrote someone new on the front of it, because did I have the name someone new by then? Yeah, it popped in my head. I had the name someone new, and I started just writing. I wrote out pretty much the entire business that we're still going by today. So all the information I wrote on there, all the information I wrote in that book, we're still going by today. It's like the Bible for us. But anyway, I think that if you find that right idea, and it's not you just saying you want to be an entrepreneur or you want to be an actor or whatever it is, it'll hit you and you won't have any choice but to work on it. Like when it comes to someone new, it's not, oh, do I want to work on someone new? It's, I have to. I have no choice here. Because I see what this can do for people. I know what it's going to do for me. And I'm not passing it up for anybody, for anything. And you just have to know that. So, but the thing, let me get back to the story I was saying. I distract myself sometimes. But back to the story. So sometimes when I run into people and I tell them about my company, then they start saying, wow, you're lucky. You're doing this while you're young. You figured it out. I'm like, I look at them like they're crazy. I think it's crazy for people to say, oh man, you just have it all planned out. You have it all figured out. I'm making stuff up as I go. All right? That's what I'm doing for someone new. But I feel like I'm making the right decisions because I understand my company. I understand what I want out of this, and I understand what people want because I've talked to over 200 people about it. Now, but here's the reason I'm making this video. For you people out there who, when I tell you about the company, or even when you're not dealing with me, when it's someone else you're dealing with, you always tell people, oh, well, I wish I could do that. You can do that. All you have to do is want it bad enough and not just want the fantasy of it. Because if it's just a fantasy, you're not going to do it. If you make it a reality and you start setting goals, you start working towards it, that's when you're in the game. But you're not in the game if you're just talking about, oh, it'll be cool to be an actor. It'll be cool to run a company. Because I was there. I was there before. I said, yeah, one day I'm going to run a company. What stopped me? I didn't have the right idea. Okay, fair enough, right? But at the same time, it was not just the right idea that I didn't have. It was the confidence in myself. I have that confidence now. I want you guys to have that confidence. And if ever any of you guys watch this video in the future and you want to reach out to me and figure out a plan to actually start executing on what your dreams are, I'm here. That's what I'm here for. I don't care how big someone new gets, how like known I become, even if no one knows me, if a bunch of people know me, doesn't matter. Like, there's a lot of people that I've worked with in the past and I've met that tell me, oh yeah, I want to start a business. I'm like, okay, why do you want to start a business? Then they tell me why. I'm like, okay, what do you need to start that business? Oh, well, I need to be in California. I need to have $100,000. I'm like, no, you don't. Stop it. You don't want it bad enough. And I try to work through the plan with them, and they're like, no, I'll do it. And they always think they get defensive about it. And so I learned that people are going to get defensive about the fantasy because sometimes the fantasy is better than the actual story. The fantasy of it, the idea of something or of someone is so much better than the actual execution of it. Like, everyone cares. If Mark Zuckerberg, for example, was doing what I'm trying to do right here now, when he first started Facebook and started putting up videos about him just like talking about things and working on Facebook, no one would care. But I guarantee you that if he was to release video now of him starting out, he would get millions and millions and millions of people that care about every word he says. I think we kind of have our priorities mixed up with the fantasy versus the reality, because the truth is, when he was making Facebook, if he was doing the exact same thing I was doing, it wouldn't have seemed that much different. It wouldn't have, not for the videos. I mean, of course, he's doing, the work is going to be different, the team's going to be different, but the point is, it's a lot more exciting when someone has already made it. But you can't let the fantasy of something prevent you from really going through the hard work. That daily life, the daily struggle that you go through when you're starting your company, when you actually take that chance, is the same thing that all these success stories went through. You just have to go for it. See you guys next week. Actually, you might see me again this week. I keep forgetting that. 2 videos. See you guys. Bye.